I believe we are live. What's going on? Hope everybody can hear me. Check, check, check. Get this boosted up a little bit. Well, I'll just scoot it closer. Let's see here. How's it going, everybody? I know this was like just spur of the moment. I just decided to do this because I didn't do a like 2021 end of the year video. I wanted to, but I didn't get around to it. So I figured I'd do this instead. I've got my two bags over there. We're going to go over here in a second, but I was just going to talk about 2021 for a second. It was a great year for Pentax. They released a lot of stuff. Previous years, they hadn't released, the past couple, they hadn't released much at all. K3 Mark III, we had the K3 Mark III, and then the 16 to 50, the new DS Star lens. We had the 21 millimeter full frame. Happy New Year, JR. They had a lot. I'd like to see the just their stock, or not their stock, but their sales, is how far they've gone this year compared to the last 2 years, just because they've released a lot this year. So hopefully in 2022 they've released a lot of stuff. That's how you keep continuing in the camera world, is you got to keep on releasing stuff. You got to keep on pushing the technology forward. So hopefully they'll do that. And plus, now that they're pretty much the only DSLR company out there, I think might be pretty good. So they don't have to do. In previous years, it was you had the Nikon would come out there with their DSLR first, then Canon would come out with their DSLR later in the year, and then Pentax was always last, if you remember that. But the Pentax was always a lot cheaper, and it had more features, and a lot of times, like, the dynamic range and image quality was better on their sensor. I guess they had that extra time and just put all the effort into it to make it that much more of a special camera. I mean, I'm talking to Pentaxians, so you know this stuff. So my New Year's resolution last year, did you fulfill yours as far as photography was concerned? Mine last year, I remember, was to take less pictures. Not meaning like don't shoot as often, just if you line it up and it's not a good picture, just why are you shooting it, just to shoot it? So I think I did that in 2021. So I think I completed that goal, and I was thinking about in the new year 2022, what are some New Year's resolutions that I would like to do as far as photography is concerned. You could leave a comment or leave it in the chat of if you have some photography goals in the new year, of what you would like to you know like to do. So mine, I came up with I want to shoot some like new stuff, not stuff that I've kind of shot before. So maybe like some architecture type stuff. Don't do a lot of that, but if you know me, I do a lot of landscape and kind of wildlife nature photography. So I was looking forward to maybe going downtown. I'm here in East Tennessee, going downtown to Knoxville and taking some pictures uh, of the architecture down there. And I've got a lens in one of those bags back there that that I'll show you that might need might do me well with that type of photography. Also, my second goal is to get everything in these two bags behind me, get all this stuff insured, because I've got a lot of money in there. I looked at some of my what's in my bag stuff over the years, and yeah, there was some expensive stuff in there, and a lot of it I was just changing out lenses, and I wasn't keeping stuff for all that long. So I'd have to go back to the insurance company and keep on changing it in the the policy or whatnot. But I've got some really stellar stuff in here that I think I'm it's just I'm there with it. So I don't think I need to change out any or many of these lenses. But there is one that will, and we'll talk about that. here in a second. So which one sounds best to you? I got two bags back here, and in the thumbnail, these are the two lenses that I've been using the most. Or on, I've got I've got two cameras, of course, the Pentax K3 Mark III, and this is the lens I've been using the most lately. Is the 55 to 300 PLM lens. Um, this pretty much stays locked on my camera, especially now and it's winter, and all I'm looking for is wildlife when I go on my hikes or walks and such. So I'm not doing too much landscapes, but if I'm doing some landscapes, my other camera that I have currently, if you don't know, is a K1 Mark II, the silver edition, and this is the other lens that stays locked to it. So these two different bags are have for each different system. Um, this is a 24 f2 lens, the star lens, older lens, but this is fantastic. It stays locked on my camera. You might be saying, Lee said you're going to order the 21 millimeter that just came out, and I had it, I had it, I had it ordered, and it was back ordered or whatnot, so they just canceled my order on Rico, and then I went into my full-time business on eBay, and I'm like, well, $1,400, that's a lot, so I'll wait a few months and see if it's feasible or not. But this 24, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, so we'll see. I might get it, but this lens is what, it's like $400, and it's just an awesome lens. So those are the two cameras with the lenses I have on them most often. So I'm going to go through first, I guess. Let me see. Let's go with the K3 Mark III bag here. See what I got in it. It's interesting. I've watched a couple of my old videos, like I said, of my what's in my bag or whatever. So I've had this bag for ever, pretty much right after I started photography. I got this bag, and it's I got off eBay from Hong Kong. And it's just canvas bag, and it's nice and worn in. It's super comfy. You got a up top level. It's just like a knapsack, and then you got the bottom that has lenses in it and whatnot. So we'll go in the bottom first, or top first. We'll just see what I have in here. If you have any questions, feel free to type in the chat. If you're not on just like right after it, the chat doesn't show up for like 12 hours. So it's getting cold out here. It's supposed to get down to 13 Fahrenheit tonight. Like, what was it? Less than a week ago, it was 77. Isn't that crazy? East Tennessee weather. Oh, well, I guess I need to keep these kind of close because they're going back in the bag. All right. Gloves. Get some gloves like this for photography. There's some that have just the two fingers, but I bought these, and they're all fingerless, and it's fine. My hands are really bad about losing circulation in the cold. We got Twinkie Kid. You've probably seen him in my videos. I bought a box of Twinkies to do like a video showing this, but family ate them all, so I had to steal the last one. So it fits a Twinkie in there. Anyway, I use this Twinkie Kid in some of my shots just for as a fun landscape shot, or just to do a thumbnail for YouTube or what. And I've got my YouTube type stuff. Osmo action camera. With this is actually kind of cool. If you don't have one of these, I mean, you can use this on your DSLR, a lighter DSLR. So they unscrew right here. It's better than the Gorilla Pods or whatever they are. So you can use this thing like a selfie stick, or you should be able to pick one of these up off eBay for $6 or $7. And I think this is like a vintage one. I think they'll probably work better than the more modern ones. But yeah, Osmo. I got Osmo action camera, 4K. I don't do a lot of 4K because I looked at the analytics, and most people just watch it on their phone. So there's no purpose in me spending extra time doing 4K. This is my body mount for that camera. A couple batteries. I swear I'll get to the Pentax stuff here in a second. Oh, a beef stick, beef stick wrapper. I'll throw that in the trash. uh, and stuff you need if you have a camera bag, you need this in your camera bag. It's not photography related, but you really need like just a small survival kit and roll aids. If you ever watch my camping videos and all the stuff I cook, I need roll aids for sure. So I usually keep a couple of these in there just to some of those foggy mornings, your lens might get a little fogged, or just to wipe the dirt off. Soft microfiber stuff. An extra card. This card is actually has a micro SD card on there, so it will work both in my camera if I run out of space or in my action camera. So I'll put that stuff in there real quick. Happy New Year. Let's see here. Now we'll go into the next level where all the lenses are. And I'm going to explain all these lenses, why I have them, what I use them for. And it's kind of weird from where I was years ago. Uh, Best Pentax lens for 35 to 50 millimeter for plane shooting. My eyes are getting bad. Meaning for photographing books from above in a fixed plane setup for higher resolution. So you're looking at like some sort of macro type photography, plane shooting, meaning you're shooting. You said okay. The photographing books, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of the 50 millimeters. I've got a macro lens in here coming up, but it's more telephoto than those. But the 35, if you're using a crop sensor camera, uh, uh, if you're using the crop sensor camera, the 35 millimeter what is it? Is it F2? The DA limited, outstanding, and that's 35. So pretty much a 50 millimeter equivalent. All right, first lens. I have this in my bag. I bought this year. This thing is outstanding. I just hadn't been using it because there's not a lot of color outside, and I haven't been shooting landscapes. This is the 16 to 50 f2.8. So I've got the 55 to 300, and then I've got the 16 to 50. So two zooms. I wouldn't have thought this like years ago. I've been like, man, I'm just totally in on the. Oops, I'm just totally in on crop or prime lenses all the way. No way I'm using zooms, but these two lenses right here are just outstanding. So the only problem with this is it's a little heavy. I've got my 20 to 40. Yeah, I know 2040 limited. I've got it for sale on eBay, but this is a little heavy since I'm like dealing with some tendonitis type stuff. I think it's like mouse arm or something like that, but it's getting better. But it's a little heavy anyway. So, but awesome lens, and this is a 77 millimeter filter thread. So this next lens actually works really well with this one as well. So I've got three zooms in my bag right here for my K1 or K3 Mark III. This is the 10 to 20 Sigma lens. This is the regular f4 to f5.6. So I know a lot of people like the other one, the f3.5 or whatever, but I hadn't had any problems with this. And most of the time I'm shooting landscapes. I'm at f5.6, f8, maybe even a little more stop down than that. So they have the exact same filter thread. So if I'm out there shooting landscapes, I only have to have one set of filters for these two because they both are the same filter thread. So that's great on those. Good evening from Norway. Hans, how's it going? Let's see here. Last one. Now this is a full frame lens, but when I use it on my crop sensor camera. This is the 90 millimeter Tamron. And I hadn't used this a lot lately, just because I just hadn't been doing a lot of macro lately. But I've bought and sold this lens probably, oh my God, I don't know, 8, 10 times. And the last time I bought it, I was like, nope, I'm not selling it. This is a good copy. There's nothing wrong with it. I know I'll buy it and then sell it. And it's getting a little bit harder to find. So I don't want to be stuck and then end up paying it. It's around 2 to 250. I don't want to sell it and then want it back 6 months later and end up having to spend $400 on it. So I like it better than the 100 millimeter FDA or whatever. I've gone over that before. It's just that it's bigger and it's better, especially if you're using it on the K1. It just instead of that Pentax one, it just fits on the camera better. That 100 millimeter Pentax is just so tiny, and it's like 49 millimeter filter thread. That tells you how tiny it is. And just when you've got this big K1 and it's on there, it's just not balanced very well. But this one has a limiter on the side, and a lot of times you'll be using manual focus. So this has a lot bigger grip if you're doing manual focus. So it just makes the work a lot easier. Both of them are magnificently sharp, but I just prefer this one more. So what else we got in here? Always put some of these in your bag. Just you get some of these with your shoes, this silicone stuff, just to keep the moisture out. Just if you get a new pair of shoes, take the old ones out and throw it in here just to keep everything in your bag dry. If you got wet stuff, don't put it in your bag and close it up. You'll get mold, fungus, haze, all that sort of stuff in your lenses. So don't do that. What else do we got on the sides? Let me close this up so I don't drop my lenses on YouTube Live all on the ground. All right, so there we go. If you can see again, if you're late. All right, and I got these two on the side. What I usually put is a bottle of water on each side here when I'm hiking or whatnot, or I put one bottle of water and I've got an extra battery in here. That's a great thing about the K1 Mark II and the original K1 as well, and the K3 Mark III. They both use the exact same battery. So I've got 4 batteries total, Pentax batteries. I've got some generic ones from like years past that I don't even use. But yeah, keep those. That's great because I already did that one. Let's see. This one right here in the front. And I said the 77 millimeter filter thread for those 2 lenses. Just sold something on eBay. Let's see. So I've got a CPL, I've got a neutral density filter, and I've got a second CPL circular. It's always hard to say. Circular polarizer, if I need it as well. Those are I got a Tiffin. Got 2 Tiffin circular polarizers, and then some off-brand ND filter, but it works okay. So that's what I've got there. Anything else in here? Just another cloth right there, just to keep everything kind of clean and keep the moisture off stuff. All right, so that is the end of K3 Mark III bag right there. All right, don't fall. Don't fall. Okay. All right, let me see if I missed anything here. Hi from the UK, Tony. How's it going? What brand are the gloves? I've got 2 different brands. I bought one of them from, and I'm not sure where these came from. I bought one off B&H years ago, and then I sold pretty much the exact same thing, so I'm not sure where these came from. These are actually from Bass Pro Shop, or they were on. Oh, okay. Here's the two brands. These are actually different. I mean, they look exactly the same. You see. So this one is Glacier Glove, and this other one is called White River. Yeah. So I've got I've got like 5 pairs because you always lose one. So I lost one of these, and I've got a pair still. So that's how it works. But yeah, I think these were under $10 when you buy them. So yeah, definitely recommend those. There's ones that have the I think archery gloves are like that as well, where it's just got these 2 fingers, which is good. So you might want to look at those if you don't want all your fingers exposed, especially if you're way up north where it gets like super cold. Yeah. Oh yeah, TL. I talked about that earlier. Yeah, I didn't end up. They canceled the 21 on me, and I didn't end up trying to reorder it because I'm doing the eBay business. I just want to see how that goes. I might be purchasing it, but I have purchased 2 separate lenses. One of them is going to be in this bag behind me, like A1 bag, and then another one as well that were equal about half the price of the 21. So we'll see. I'll probably end up getting that. But I'm just kind of seeing how my business is going so far. It's going well, very well, as a matter of fact. But we'll see. I'll give updates on that occasionally. But I'll probably wait a couple of months and then kind of reevaluate on that. All right, let's see. Let's go with the K1 bag. All right. And like I said, I want to get all this stuff like that bag. Definitely keeping all those lenses. I say that, but yeah, I'm keeping them. I mean, I'm going to get them insured, so that's on my New Year's resolution list is get everything insured, and it's not that much. I know I've already inquired about it. I just go through too many lenses, switching all on and off. All right. Oh, so this is a shoulder bag. I bought this a while ago, and I don't use this bag that much. Actually, a lot of times I'll just grab a camera and put a lens on it and go where I'm going. But if I'm going on a camping trip, I'll grab a whole bag. Sometimes I'll grab both of these bags. Sometimes I'll just grab one. Depends if I'm going for 1 or 2 nights. But here we go. We'll go lenses. Well, we'll go this bottom part first. This little bottom part here folds out, and this actually can fit like a laptop in the back. It's not very cushioned, but or a tablet of some sort. Got some Koken filters here. These are the P series, the bigger series. So the P, yeah, I think P. So these would work great on one of the lenses I have. My 2 favorite Koken ones are the graduates are the well, they have a, what is it called? Tobacco and a coffee tint. So it's like that orangish sepia. Oh, I could probably do this. This is probably going to be horrible. So, anyway, you can see how it has that kind of sepia type tint. It does really cool. It gives you a unique one. I wish this one was like a black, but this is what I have right now. This just came with a lot. This is the like purplish. Might be good for some night skies or something like that. I haven't used these yet, but they're in my bag, so I've been meaning to use them. And there's the holder that goes on them. And this is a must for any photographer. If you don't have one of these, you need to get one. A rocket blower, especially if you're at the beach, blow sand off your camera. I use this like somebody asked in my last video how often I clean my sensor or whatnot. If I notice there's dust, well, I can do it right now. So I'm sure this K3. Did I do this? I didn't do this before, though. So, well, I'll just the mirror's still up there. So what you first do is take off the lens and do the mirror lock up there, but go like this first to blow out if there's any dust in here. Hold the camera upside down and just blow like that in there on the sensor, and then go outside and test it again and see if all of those little dust bunnies are off your sensor. That works like the majority of the time. So Let's see what else we got here. That's in this lower part. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Tripod plate. I have 3 tripods, and they all use the exact same plate. I hate when you have like a couple different tripods and they have different plates, and I've got like 8, 10 plates. So I just have them everywhere. They're like screwdrivers. You lose these things. So I always try to keep one in my bag. A lot of times I'll just leave it on the bottom of my camera. But that's the Manfrotto one is what I use, and I use the heads I use. I make sure they match this. If I buy one, buy a new tripod, usually buy the Delica Pro Line series is what I buy, and then I find a head that is better than what the Delica has, but it has that Manfrotto thing. Let's see here. Just a extra cap in here. Don't know when you'll probably need those. Start off. I just did a review on this one recently, but this is just a must have for me. Is my favorite 50 millimeter manual focus lens is the Pentax -A 1.7. That is in my K1 bag, and I can use it on obviously I can use it on the K3 Mark III as well. And I said this earlier, but the 24 f2 star lenses on the K1 like the majority of the time. But if I want something to go out and just walk around and casually shoot and not use a prime, notice I'm getting primes in here more on the full frame. I did buy this, and I think I've showed this before. It's the 28 to 75 f2.8 Tamron lens. It's fine. It's really good. Excellent quality pictures, not better than primes or anything. But if you're just going around for some casual shots, and you're going to get some pretty good shots with this lens, so I recommend that. And I think you can buy it for like $225 or something like that used. I got some filters in here. I'm sure I have. Sure, that's just CPLs. Oh, that's a neutral density filter. I bought some of these. I think that's what that says. Yeah. ND32s. I bought a bunch of these. I've used them a couple times. Seem all right. They're off brand, but it does allow you to get little. Oh, and then this one's like a complete opposite. Yeah, this is a neutral density filter as well. This is I think I bought them to kind of compare. This is the variable one. So if you go too dark on these, let me see if I could show you this. Yeah, see how dark it goes? If you go too dark on these, it puts a big X on your camera on your images. So you don't want to go too far because it goes down to like, I don't know, 100 under 100 stops or something like that ridiculous. So you just got to kind of find that sweet spot there. So that's some filters I got. And of course, I think this is my favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite limited full frame lens. Limited full frame. The 43 limited. Awesome. I think this just performs the best, the sharpest pictures, and it's fun to use, even though it is a small and kind of, like I was saying, not balanced or whatever on the K1, like the macro lens. This one is just a joy to use, and plus it's silver, so it matches my camera, right? That's what the most important thing is. All right, and I got some more of these. Like I said, put these in your bag. You get some new shoes and a bunch of these come in there, pull out the old ones, throw some new ones in there. Just keep everything dry. Oh, and here's some filters for that 43. And it's probably the same stuff. I generally just use the same. Yeah, the CPL. This is I haven't used this one yet. The neutral density 32, and then yeah, same thing. A variable variable with a step ring on it for a 49 to 52. So, and let's see. And this one would be the what else? Oh, we got some stuff in the back here. Forgot about this. Another like survival kit or first aid kit. You need to have this in your bag. It doesn't matter if you do what type of photography you do. Just have a little small, put a little plastic bag with some aspirin, some Band-Aids, whatever you think you'll need. There's some anti-diarrhea medicine in there. If you're eating hot dogs at a game, that might be good. And this is the lens that I was saying that I bought as kind of like a New Year's type deal to try new photography, even though I've done this type of photography before and I've owned this lens before. And maybe some of you have owned this lens. I've had this lens 3 times. I had it once on Canon. I saw some amazing shots at the Biltmore in Asheville where they don't allow photography. But I brought my camera bag in where I had the Canon 5D Mark III, I think, and I had this lens. And I just went up there to ask. I was like, "Hey, are you still not allowing photography?" And they said, "As a matter of fact, we are. We're just trying it out for a little bit." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to get some shots that nobody's done before." So it's a Rokinon 14 millimeter f2.8. So yeah, I've had this before, and it's fantastic. And it was fantastic there in the Biltmore because it's like a great lens for indoors architecture. But the one thing it is, I don't think I've said this before. It's not really good for landscapes. It's just too damn wide. I mean, it can work for some stuff, but it's not like something that you use all the time. It's just that's just the way it is. Hi from Germany, 11 p.m. there. Well, I guess I got it started earlier so you could watch it. Usually I don't get these things started till 6. So, yeah. So this is a manual focus lens. It's super sharp. I don't really recommend using it on a crop sensor camera, even though you can. It's optimized for full frame, but just that 14 millimeter effect is just incredible. Architecture, this would be great indoors. Real estate photography, you can use it on landscapes, some landscapes. I'll tell you where this lens would really shine. I've done this before with this, I think this lens, maybe something else, but it was just as wide as this. If you're, say, in like you're in like somewhere, a big square where there's lots of tourists or whatever, and you want to get a shot of this church, and it's like right there, and you're like, there's people in front. What you could do with this is you could get in front of all those people and still fit that whole entire building in your shot without people being in the shot. So it looks like there's nobody there. So you've got the shot with that. That's what I kind of bought this for, is to go down and do some architecture work with it. And also try my hand at maybe some astrophotography or whatnot. That's why I bought that. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, but it's gonna help me out with my resolution of trying some new things for my photography this year. So put that in here, and I think that's it for this bag. Oh, we got another battery, like I was saying, for battery in the side. Same batteries for the K1 on the K3 Mark III. So it's great to just have the same battery with the 2 different cameras. And I did say earlier that since I didn't buy the 21, there was another lens that I have on order, and I should be getting it in the next day or 2. I don't want to spoil it because I'll probably do a video about it, but I've had it before on the K1, the original K1, and I recommended it as the best lens to go with the K1. You can take guesses on what it is if you want, but it is a fantastic lens. and I'll be comparing it to another one of a similar similar focal range. So that's going to be a pretty cool video coming up. My throat's getting a little sore here. Another thing, the Titans. I just found out that I might be getting tickets for the Titans, so I'll get to go down to downtown Nashville, and that lens I'll bring it down, and it'll be super crowded. So that's why, and another reason I want to get everything insured. So I didn't have the iBricks 15. I've heard a lot of good things about that. I had the Loa what, macro. I've got a review on it. It seemed all right. I should have said that Rokinon. I know, I'm pretty sure I hadn't looked at the price of the lyrics or whatever it is, 15 millimeter, but the Rokinon, I bought it used, so I got it for like $220 US, so shipped. So I don't think that lens is that cheap. I think it's over $500 if I remember correctly. But it's a lens that I'm not going to use that much. And if I bought that 15, I don't think I'd be using it as much. So I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. Yeah, and with the Laowa or whatever I used, I think it might have been a 20 millimeter macro. The build quality just didn't seem like it was there. They would just had released them at the time. I have to find that video and watch it again. I did some photographs of like macros. They were kind of cool. A 20 millimeter macro with a butterfly like right on there. Yeah, Derrick Henry's going to be back. He's back in practice today, and then when they're playing Houston, so they should just sit him there, and then if we win that game, we get a bye. So I mean, it's virtually 3 weeks, and then it will be that'll be his first game in the playoffs. So I'm feeling good about that. And if he wins that game, my brother just called me like right before this and said, I've got tickets for the AFC championship in Nashville if they win Houston and then win that first playoff game. So that will be awesome. Yeah, I know we lost to Houston last time, but we've got AJ Brown back now, so it'll all be good. And plus, I think all the spare parts that we've gotten back, all the whatever the freelancers that we've gotten in, the running backs are doing a little bit better and whatnot. So I'm feeling good about that. Anybody have any questions? Pentax stuff? Just hold these cameras up again. We're at like almost 40 minutes in. I didn't want to take this too long because my throat's kind of been a little sore lately, but there they are. All right. 2 cameras, K1 Mark II with the 24 f2 star, and then my most used lenses on each system, and the K3 Mark III with the 55 to 300 PLM. I mean, that just this two incredible cameras. I mean, I don't think you put this two different systems together. I'm trying to think of the other manufacturers. What would be the price point and just the quality? I don't think you can match it. I don't know. There might be something that comes close, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a Minolta strap. Of course it is. And I've been using these for years. All right, so I'll go over them again, though. These are the best straps ever created in the history of mankind. These are Minolta Maxim straps. Well, you can see how I've used that one quite a bit. But the great thing about this is, you see that it's got that little extra piece in it. So I like my cameras to hang closer to all the way down to my waist, not this type deal. I don't like that. So I like the longer straps. Kind of feels like a guitar strap or something like that, you know. So whenever I see these, I buy them. I've got like 3 extra in case these break, but they last forever. They're I think it's cotton, and they're just super comfortable and super fantastic. So if you see an Ulta Maxim camera that has one of these, you get Maxim cameras for dirt cheap. I would buy one just to get this get this strap. So all right. Let me see if I missed anything here. I saw something up there. Tristan, man, come on. You can't spoil my next video. What's up? And I guess you might have guessed that. So, yeah, I've got that coming in the mail. It should be here in the next day or two. And I still have the 31 back there on the shelf. I've got it for sale. And I'll be doing a side-by-side review with that. And with that, I'll end this video. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm not sure when I'll do another one of these lives again, but I'll be sure to do some Pentax videos coming up. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everybody.